to the point. But remember that whatever you do this new week, try as much as you can to imbibe positive mindset. All right, whatever you want to do, make sure that you go about it with all your heart. Do that job with all your heart. Make sure that you approach everything that you will do throughout this week with a clear and a positive mindset. Now let's get to it. We have this one coming from Vanguard newspaper that said we struck to avert threat against Nigeria. Niger General Chiani said so. Right, leader of the military junta in the Republic of Niger, General Abdurrahmani Chiani said weekend that the coup in which they overthrew President Mohamed Bazoum was well intended and was carried out to avert an imminent threat that would have affected not only the Niger Republic but also Nigeria. Now, this one is coming from the Niger junta, the leader of the Niger junta, Mr. Chiani, and he's saying that the threats, that's the impending threat that made them to overthrow the government of the Niger Republic was not going to affect them alone, that it was even going to affect Nigeria too. I don't know what that the full content is, but if you want to know more about our story, grab a copy of Vanguard newspaper this morning and extract all the needed informations you need from that particular story. Now, going forward, we have this one that says that is talking about subsidy removal, and it said kill corruption, not Nigerians. Bakari tells Tinubu. This one is right there on Vanguard newspaper this morning, and if you want to know more, grab a copy of Vanguard and know what Mr. Bakari, the pastor, is telling the president, Mr. Tinubu, this morning. Now, going forward, we have this one that says fresh fuel price hike looms as landing costs rises by 37.4%. If you want to know more about that story, grab a copy of Vanguard because it's right there, conspicuously written. Now, I want to go on a short break. When we return, we shall continue. All right, stick around. It's still 93.7 FM, Citizen FM, right here in the Federal Capital Territory, a station that understands nothing but business. We'll be right back. It's still EKENE EZEPUE. Still on Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have this one that says still on the coup. Dialogue, diplomacy remains panache for Action Aid tells ECOWAS. If you want to know more about that particular story, grab a copy of Vanguard newspaper and peruse through it and extract all the needed informations right there. Now, I'm not a ritualist. I removed my ex-lover's body parts to cover up. Footballer said so. Quite a sad one there. I don't know what you are if you're not a ritualist. You remove the body part of a fellow human being and you're still calling yourself non-ritualist. Okay. If you want to know more about a particular story, grab a copy of Vanguard newspaper and read through it and extract all the needed information you need to know on crime. This one is on crime. Now, why I baited daily with human head? 24-year-old suspected ritualist confesses. This one is a very sad one as well. If you want to know more about it, grab a copy of Vanguard newspaper. Now, things are happening and a lot of things is going wrong. You have to know the kind of friends you keep. You have to know the kind of relationship you keep. You have to know the kind of spouses you keep as well. So you have to know what they do for a living. All right. If you don't know what people are doing for a living, please don't involve yourself with them. If you cannot answer that question straight up, if they ask you what your spouse is doing for a living, and then you start jittering or you start stuttering, please try as much as you can to leave that relationship. It's best for you, all right? Because you never can tell who the next victim might be. All right. Moving forward, we have to go straight to another national daily and extract more information for you. Now we have this one that says ICPC grills Agric Ministry officials over massive fraud. Nice. Coming up. If you want to know more about that particular story, grab a copy of Punch newspaper, because right now we are in Punch newspaper extracting more for you. A lot is going on in the agri sector. A lot of fertilizers being looted, a lot of things going wrong, money entering into wrong hands, and money not accounted for is going on in the agri sector. If we can approach our agri sector with every sense of sincerity and uprightness, I believe that our agri sector have the capacity to give us our needed resources to sustain this country. But when things are not going right in that particular sector, definitely expect that food prices will keep going up and going up and going up just like that. Now, if you want to know more about this particular story, it's right there on the Punch newspaper this morning. And then I have this one that says CBN may lose control of the Naira. It's like, this one is now like the obvious. It's happening. Naira 900 and something in the parallel market, 950 and all that. We have to, ask ourselves some questions if actually this floating of Naira is actually the right way to go. Is it really the right way? If the Naira keeps going up, and then this particular story is saying that CBN may lose control of the Naira. And that's hike in Naira, that price, that's exchange rate that is going up, is affecting every part of it, even the fuel importations and all that. So you definitely going to ask yourself, is CBN not going to lose control of Naira? That's the question. This one is right there on Punch newspaper. So if you want to know more about it, grab Punch newspaper and read through it this morning. And then this one says marketers propose 720 per litre, 20 naira per litre, suspend fuel imports. Now this one calls for urgent attention, and it's something that is not palatable at all. It's a very, 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 it's a wake-up call actually for Nigerians, to brace up, so that it won't take up by surprise, because most of this hike in petrol prices, most often, it takes us by surprise. It looks as if when it happens like this, we shout, But the fact is, when the dollar keeps going up the way it's going up, it's definitely going to, because most of this fuel, they import them. So what do you expect? These people have to import this fuel, and they have to work, to make sure that they recoup their gains and their benefits or whatever. Now, it's right there on Punch newspaper. Forex crisis is affecting petrol price. That's it. And marketers propose 720 per litre. suspend fuel price. They suspended it to know if the price will come down, if the dollar will come down, so that they will import more PMS into the country. Now, if you want to know more about a particular story, please grab a copy of Punch newspaper this morning and read through it. Now it's still on Punch newspaper this morning. This one says attack on Ganduje cost Kwankwaso ministerial slot, says APC spokesman. If you want to know more about this particular story, grab a copy of Punch newspaper this morning. Of course, you know the kind of the rift between Ganduje and Kwankwaso in Kano State. They are political tussles, leadership tussles, and all that. If you want to know more about that issue and then how it cost him ministerial nomination, grab a copy of Punch newspaper this morning and read through it. All right, it's right there. Now we have this one that says, "I retired from IBB regime to preserve my integrity. Odige Oyegu said so." If you want to know more about that integrity move, grab a copy of Punch newspaper this morning and peruse through it and extract all the information you need. This one says, "I betted with humans call to boost my business. Suspect said so." That's on a crime scene. Punch newspaper is right there on the Punch newspaper. Grab a copy and get all the needed information you need. Like I said earlier on, know the kind of company you keep. It's very important. All right, know the kind of friends you keep. Know where you're going with people. All right, if you don't trust them, please don't move out anyhow with people. All right. That's the kind of the advice I'm giving out to Nigerians this morning. If no matter how far, most people don't even know the kind of business their friends do. All right, and then when you notice a kind of a covetousness in a friend, why are you still hanging out? Is that not a red flag enough? So start asking yourself such questions today. If you want to stay alive, you want to live for your family, try as much as you can to stay alive and keep away from bad friends, bad relationships, and all that. Now, this one says military pledges loyalty to Tinubu, backs democracy. Yes, this one. We'll discuss it when we get to newspaper review. And now, military is coming out to say no, that they are loyal to Mr. President, of course. And there's nothing in this world as sweet as democratic regime. If you don't know what a military rule is, I think you should go and read Nigerian story. Peruse through it, extract most of these past stories, and then know what it looks like. All right, democratic rule is actually the best. Like we always say, we always frown at military leadership, and now the military leadership is coming out. Military head honchos are coming out to debunk and then pledging their loyalty to Mr. President. Now, going forward, we have CCB, Code of Conduct Bureau, Sean's request on Tinubu, Shetima's asset. Grab a copy, know what that particular story is talking about. All right, now, ban, no decision taken on Amuso yet, says WA. World Athletics. This one is on Amuso and his drug related issue that is happening with World Athletic Organization or whatever. Just grab a copy of Punch newspaper this morning and peruse through it and read how no decision has been taken on Amuso. But let's read it because this one is our shining light a little bit. The World Athletics has disclosed that women's 100-meter hurdles world champion and record holder Toby Amuso has not yet been cleared to compete at this year's World Championships, which begins this weekend in Budapest, Hungary. All right, this is the week of several reports. Making the rounds that the Nigerian has been given the green light to compete to defend her title at the championships. Now you know that she has not been cleared, and from all indications, it looks as if he's not going to participate in that World Championship coming up this weekend in Budapest, Hungary. Now, let's go and peruse another national daily when we return from the short break. We'll be right back. It's still Super Citizen at Sunrise with EKENE EZEPUE. We'll be right back. Of course, it's still Super Citizen at Sunrise this morning, and this still EKENE EZEPUE. Now, going forward, we head straight to the Nation newspaper this morning. And on the Nation newspaper, we have Niger junta leader now ready for dialogue with ECOWAS. Of course, it's no longer a new story. That particular story keeps resurfacing until it gets solved, finally. And I hope that it gets solved amicably and to the satisfaction of every party involved. And I hope that the people of the Niger Republic will be better for it. All right. Now, this resurfacing right here on the Nation newspaper that the Niger junta leader now ready for dialogue. You know what happened to the people that is sent there, the elderly former presidents, heads of states that is sent there to go and dialogue. But they didn't get a good reception right there. But now, it looks as if they are ready to dialogue. And it's a good story. Of course, it's a good story. All right, going forward, we have North Central governors, small platforms to tackle insecurity. Others. Check out our story. Is right there on the Nation newspaper this morning. Now, we have banks stopped from writing off loans granted directors. This one has to do with bank directors' loans that banks cannot write them off again. If you want to know more about that particular story, grab a copy of the Nation newspaper and read through it and get all the information that you need, all right? Because information is power. Now, we have this one. CBN's liabilities may worsen forex volatility. Grab a copy of the Nation newspaper and read through it. All right, we'll be right back from this short break. When we return, we'll continue, all right? Now you see what I'm talking about. Now you see what you enjoy in a democratically dispensation. Yeah, in a democratic dispensation. Now you see that Burkina Faso is right there on the Nation newspaper, and it says Burkina Faso regime suspends radio station over Niger criticism. And this is what you get when military takes over power. What you get is force. Everything is force. Force you out of anything. No due process, nothing. No court cases. Just whatever they decide is what they do. So now you see, when you clamor for these things, you know that it will definitely affect you in a very bad and negative way. So just get that. All right, now we have this one that says declare state of emergency in health. MA tells Tinubu. Let's just peruse through that and know what that particular story is talking about. It says the Ekiti State chapter of Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to urgently declare state of emergency in the health sector. Now this one is on the all right, sir, we'll be right back. Let's just go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue. All right. Still super citizen at sunrise this morning, and you see your darling host EKENE EZEPUE. Now Makinde Oyo Labor Union's broker peace. It's a good one right there. At the end of the day, at least an agreement for peace to take to be the order of the day has taken place in Oyo State, and is a good thing. If you are clamoring for something, at the end of the day you were able to broker peace, and everybody is happy. It's a good thing, and I believe that every government or every state governors will borrow a leaf from what Mr. Makinde is doing in Oyo State. All right, follow the way of peace is always the right way. Now we have this one that says gunmen abduct Nasarawa monarch wife. This one is on insecurity, and it's not a good story. If there's anything that Nigeria wants now, is a secured atmosphere, secured environment for businesses to thrive. If people are convinced that they can move around freely, do their businesses, it will encourage more businesses to come up, to spring up. It will encourage foreign investors to come in, and then if there are plenty jobs in the land, that means there will be plenty. If there are plenty companies and plenty businesses in the land, that means there will be plenty jobs in the land. That's what it means. Now, going forward, we have this one that says Enugu State government bans unauthorized use of vehicle with tinted glasses. Is right there on the Nation newspaper. Don't forget that we are still reading all our stories for now from the Nation's newspaper, so that you don't mistake it. And it's a good it's actually a security measures that Enugu State government is taking right here when he says he wants to ban unauthorized use of vehicle with tinted glasses, and if you don't have the papers or whatever that covers you to tint your glasses of your vehicle, you're not allowed to do that in Enugu State. In case you're from that state, just know this. All right. Moving forward, Obaseki. Why I won't back Shaibu to succeed me. If you want to know more about this particular story, please grab a copy of the Nation's newspaper this morning. Now, this one says federal government states open talks on minimum wage review. Of course, this one is long overdue. If the federal government should wade in and do more to make sure that what people receive as minimum wage is in tandem with what the reality is in the country at the moment. All right, that's what people are saying, and that's how to go about it to make sure that everybody is happy at the end of the day. And now that is going to be all that we can take from the Nation newspaper, and then we'll move to the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then on the Guardian newspaper, we have this one that says investigator probe CBN staff, consultants, NIBSS, NSPMC. Tensions are escalating faster than the public can guess in the financial circles as the determination of the current administration to bring to book those found wanting in the past 9 years under the leadership of Godwin Emefiele. If you want to know more about this particular story, grab a copy of the Guardian newspaper and extract all the needed information you need right there. Now, on Niger Republic, military succumbs to dialogue, says coup in Nigeria's interest. Says coup in Nigeria's interest. That's he's talking about what is going on in Niger Republic. Simply, we read it earlier on. Now it's resurfacing right here, and he says that Niger Republic juntas are ready for dialogue. And they're saying that the coup that they undertook was actually in the interest of Nigeria. Okay, I think it's a good one. Come to discussion table and let's discuss issues peacefully so that there won't be any bloodshed. All right, absence of substantive AUGF stalls public accounts committee's work. If you want to know more about that story, grab a copy of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Now, this one says ministerial nominations as litmus test for APC in Southeast. Right? Okay, let's just peruse that particular headline, the first paragraph, and see what he has to say. President Bola Tinubu's ministerial nomination, which gave only 5 slots to the Southeast region, has reopened old wounds of agitations and alleged marginalization against the Ndibo. Lawrence Njoko reports, and it says President Bola Tinubu had, on assumption of office on May 29th, offered a glimpse of hope of one who is likely to do things differently when he appointed fresh service chiefs with good national spread. All right, we'll leave it that way, and that's going to be how that's how we're going to end the reading out of the newspaper this morning. And now we'll head straight to the review properly with our guest with our in-house analyst this morning, Mr. Salmon Salami. We have a lot going on in the polity, and we have to discuss it. Mr. Salmon Salami, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. EKENE. Have a wonderful week this week.
Thank you so very much. It's actually a good prayer coming from an elder statesman. All right. All right. We have to go straight and then discuss some of these issues. Now, this one is the one that touches us. This one, it can actually make a lot of people to shit somewhere. Let me not just use that word. Okay, let me withdraw that word. This one says marketers propose 720 liters per 720 per liter suspend fuel imports. This one is scary.
720 naira per liter.
720 naira per liter. Yeah.
This is sad. Already Nigerians are under serious pressure emanating or arising from the high pump price. To now say that you want to add to their problem is, to say the least, insensitive. And the marketers should know that there is a limit to which you can push people, after which they will react. What that reaction will be, your guess is as good as mine. Thank God that the NLC has not given up. They are still talking with the government, which is a good development. We have been saying it, and we keep on running the commentary, that the welfare and well-being of the citizen is the primary responsibility of any government. I hope the government will not add to the hardship that is already in the land. Things are hard, really hard.
All right, things are hard, things are really hard. I want to even add to it, like the kind of assessment, what this particular increase or proposed increase in petrol price, 720, that the marketers are proposing. Do you think it will create more tension? What level of tension do you think this might create?
Well, it's unimaginable. You cannot even fathom the kind of
because a lot of people are saying that Nigeria has shock absorber, that they can absorb it as well. Like,
don't take it for granted. They do have, but don't take it for granted. Don't take their resilience for granted. The way things are now, it has almost reached a boiling point. People are not really happy with the economic downturn and development in the country. Things are not looking up. And this perhaps is not what they expect from Mr. President.
All right, let's leave it that way. Now, attacks on Ganduje cost Kwankwaso ministerial slot, says APC spokesman. This one is something that we need to really talk about a little bit. Attacks on, of course, you know, the rift between Mr. Ganduje and Mr. Kwankwaso is still going on, and people were saying that he was going to, Kwankwaso was going to get the kind of treatment that Wike got, but you think they play a key role in that?
Well, clearly, Kwankwaso has shown that he's in firm control of Kano politics. No two ways about that. And also,
but Ganduje won twice. He won. He first tenure, he returned back again.
No, what I'm saying is this: Ganduje was a deputy governor at the time when Kwankwaso was the governor.
The governor, yeah.
They all lost, and Shekau came in. Ganduje became Minister of Defense. Kwankwaso was Kwankwaso became the Minister of Defense, and Ganduje was part of one of his staff as PA. Yes, Ganduje became governor again, but there was no rift between Ganduje and Kwankwaso. When there was a rift now, and Kwankwaso went to NNPP, we have seen what happened. Clearly, Kwankwaso has a firm grasp of the politics of Kano State. No two ways about that. And there is even no need to argue over that. And now, Ganduje is the national chairman of the ruling party, in which case he has a firm control over the affairs of the party. And by extension, he must have the heirs of Mr. President. Well, for Kwankwaso to think that because he's in charge of Kano State politics, he will just like that get a ministerial slot, that is a good dream. Allow him to dream. But the truth,
if it's a good dream, it could have turned out good for him. Okay, can we just call it a bad dream?
No. That okay. One is
go on.
It's a good one. It's a good dream. But the truth is this: while he's scheming to become a ministerial candidate and eventually a minister from Kano State, are we saying that the ministerial slot for Kano State will go to the opposition? Why? Because he happens to control the party controlling Kano State, and you feel Ganduje, who no doubt is one of Bola Tinubu's ardent supporters. In fact, he, more than any other person, came out first to support Bola Tinubu, and he supported Bola Tinubu with everything. And you feel that goes to nothing. It does not count. And you feel Bola Tinubu will, as a leader, forget somebody who was with him when they were in the dungeon. And you think that Bola Tinubu, of all people, the Bola Tinubu we know, we now feel they say that yes, the ministerial slot for Kano State should go to the opposition. Why? Perhaps because he has 2007 in mind, 2027 in mind, and because Kano State is strategic. But the truth is this: in doing all these things, politicians too, they are human beings, and loyalty counts. No wonder they gave the national chairmanship of the party to Ganduje. At least that, to me, is bigger than being a minister. All ministers will do his bidding. Not even that. He has more than 26 governors to come and visit him.
Okay, don't you think Mr. Kwankwaso continuing with that past election depleted the other opposition's votes in Kano State? I think that's worked in favor of Mr. President. Don't you think so?
Well,
mathematically,
what Kwankwaso did is similar to what Obi did, because but for Obi, Atiku will have taken all the votes from the southeast, and that will have given Atiku an edge. So for Kwankwaso to divide the votes in Kano State to some extent helps the cause of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to some extent is a disadvantage for Atiku, because ordinarily Atiku will have gotten quite some votes, very tangible ones, from Kano State, just as he would have controlled the votes from the southeast, but for Obi's overbearing influence.
Okay, all right. Moving forward, this one concerns us a lot, and we have to discuss it. It's ICPC grills Agric Ministry over massive fraud. This one is long overdue. It's something that they could have looked in by now. We could have had abundant food. What do you think?
I want to say this, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility, that at least the corruption in the polity is too much. We keep on hearing this. Pastor Bakare yesterday in his church talked about corruption, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should look at the spate of corruption going on in the land. I think if they are able to nip this in the bud and block all these leakages, there wouldn't perhaps be any need. There wouldn't have been any need to remove subsidy and increase the pump price. In actual fact, removing subsidy has two ways, as its negative side. This subsidy, we all know it is good, but the point they are making is that the money is going to the wrong hand. Can't you let it go to the right hand? If it's going to the wrong people and the elite are the ones enjoying the subsidy, can't we do, in which case it will achieve the objective for which it is meant? I don't think that beheading is the antidote for headache.
All right, I don't think beheading is the antidote for headache. That's the word of Mr. Salmon Salami, a veteran journalist and a media consultant. Now, moving forward, this one says, I retired from IBB regime to preserve my integrity. This is something we don't normally see these days. In fact, we don't see it. Before you see a Nigerian politician resign, maybe he wants to contest presidential election or something else, or governorship election. Now, this was a man that retired to keep his integrity intact. Can we see such these days?
You see, John Odiji Oyegun, the former governor of Edo State, the former APC national chairman, is by all standard a man imbued with integrity. No doubt about that. And we still have decent people in this country. Very many of them. If we have more of such people, this country will be a better place for all of us. But integrity is rare. It's not commonplace. And you don't expect the weaklings, those who feel that public office is an avenue for making money, for amassing wealth. They cannot be man or woman of integrity. Integrity is rare. It takes a real human being to say that I prefer integrity. And of course, whether you believe it or not, integrity counts. Integrity is everything. Protect it.
All right, let's protect integrity. That's the watchword this morning from Mr. Salami. Now, we struck to avert threat against Nigeria. Niger Republic is saying that General Chiani is saying that the reason why they carried out that coup was as a result of this one is just like trying to whip off sentiment or something. How do you assess this particular news from General Chiani?
Baldadash. Don't mind Chiani. General Chiani carrying out coup in Niger Republic is self-serving. If he now tells us that
it could have affected Nigeria,
it could have affected Nigeria, then we thank him for trying to protect the interests of Nigeria. Anyway, it is afterthought. And by any means, coup is not acceptable. There are ways prescribed in the Constitution, every Constitution, on how to take over the reins of power. I do not think coup d'etat is one of such ways. And like we've been saying, that there is no form of government that is perfect or foolproof. Let's keep on improving on it, and let us hold our government accountable. Let government be accountable to the people. I keep on saying it that you cannot ban coup d'etat. What can make coup d'etat unattractive is good governance. When there's good governance, people will always disallow coup. People will not call for it. And if they try it, they will fail. Because at the end of the day, sovereignty belongs to the people. Power belongs to the people.
All right, this one is very scary, and it says rising adulterated fuel. Airlines must be vigilant. We've seen this particular news before, and it's coming here again. Can you play with aviation fuel? It's not something to be toyed with. It's not something to be played with at all.
I don't even want to think about it. That is where I'll call on Captain Musanu, the DG of SCA, to please be vigilant. Toying with aviation fuel, where they go, you have more than 180 people, 200 people on board. God save Nigeria.
All right, now we want to take this one story from crime, and it says, why I baited daily with human head. 26-year-old suspected ritualist confesses. Mr. Salami, please just do justice to this particular story. I think I've said much on this. I've advised our people.
What justice can we do when you are talking to a madman? It's pure madness. Honestly, I think there is a need for psychiatrists to do a thorough job in this country. Quite many Nigerians are mad, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility. So your own is to bath with blood, and you are still justifying it. This is heinous. This is barbaric. This is unacceptable. But I would rather say that it needs help. Clearly, the man is not okay upstairs.
All right, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue, and then we'll open up our phone lines so you can participate. We'll be right back. Hello? I'm in the office. I'm in the studio. says I'm not in the office? Hello? Hello? Is still Super Citizen and Sunrise. This morning is still EKENE, EZEPUE. Now we're still on the new Super segment review. Now it's now time for you to be part of it. Call us on our line 081 822 22205. All right, call it again 081 822 22205. Or you call us on our other line 090 32 229797. Let's pick this first caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. My name is Mikey. I'm calling from Nassau.
Mr. Michael, how is Nassau this morning?
My brother, thank God.
Well done. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Still on this issue of fuel matter. I want us to be clear about this issue of whether it is subsidy, whether it is when you give me your crude and then you refine, I will come and collect the refining one. Because there is a news I'm also hearing about that the Nigeria government is not even paying money in return of this subsidy of 18 they are talking about. That what they do is that when they take our crude and they give out and then they refine and bring this in here without paying money. The only thing they do is to use our crude this to exchange. So I want us to be clear about that. Is that true of us? Because I'm here to. Because if that is the case, then why are they all these years telling us they expended a whole amount of money in the name of subsidy? You know, that is on that side. Why is it that we are not still talking about how we can be able to build a modern refinery? And sometimes they go to the Niger Delta and tell you the thousands of illegal refineries being destroyed. So why can't you galvanize those guys and then let them refine for our own benefit? And then you can be able to begin to export the crude, you know, so that the crude begin to attract foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, you understand? Then locally here we begin to, and I also notice that they quickly go and commission a Dangote refiner that is not even ready. What is the meaning of that? Somebody, you go and commission something. I thought that in this country that it is only when something are ready, you can go and commission it. But this one is not ready, and the Buhari hurriedly go and commission it without being ready. Then finally for the issue of Niger, I want to ask you that the president of Niger, they're just taking off from the military have take off from. How many years have you ruled that country? How many years?
How many years has the president ruled the country?
Yes, we have ruled that country. How many years?
Go ahead. He's a democratically elected president.
Yeah. Why I ask this question is that I also they also tell us that that president they are talking about also change the constitution. You understand? For him to be able to still in power, you know. Robert Mugabe of all this other country, you understand? But is that how to to practice democracy? If with democracy is okay, it is only 2 terms you can be able to afford. Why do you want to change? You know, you have the opportunity now. You have to change the constitution to favor yourself so that can remain in power and begin to publish the paper.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Thank you so very much for your contribution. All right, let's pick the next caller and say hello. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. EKENE.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Salami. My name is Salami.
Mr. Salami, good morning. How is Gwarempa this morning?
In relation to the last caller, Bazoma became president last year. It is not even up to a year. You know, these are the issues we are talking about, that the disease from bringing beer parlor arguments to national space to national space, because that is misinformation. Majority of the news going about what is happening in Niger is false. It is just propaganda and fake news. Bazoma is not to a year in office. So where did you get your information that he forged this thing? He changed constitution to have to remain in power like Robert Mugabe. You know, most of the time, I think as you just talked it, so I don't completely lose it. Now, still on the Niger issue, I want to commend my president and ECOWAS. You know, I knew it that Niger Republic cannot survive the economic sanction. They will not even survive for weeks. And I want to urge them to keep the pressure, the economic sanction. Now there is not even food. There is food shortage. They've lost over almost $200 million because 80% of the livestock we consume come from Niger. Since the land has been closed, there is shortage of electricity supply. They are feeling the heat. And I urge the ECOWAS to keep on the pressure. I urge the Niger president to keep on the economic pressure. At the end of the day, there will not be any need for military intervention. The coup plotters will give in, they will cave in, and those sponsored few people that they are sponsoring to protest in their support will eventually turn against them. We have seen it happen, and it will happen. There won't be need for any military intervention, just like Obasanjo intervened in South Tome and Principe in 2003, that restored the democratically elected president.
All right, let's just round it off. Of course, the president of the ousted president of Niger Republic did not change any constitution in Niger Republic, and he's been in office for 1 year. Now, Mr. Salami, your last one on the show before we head to Big Talk.
Well, I will implore super citizen members and listeners to make sure that they process information, and whatever question they want to ask, with due respect, let it be questions based on correct and informed information. We are not here to disseminate falsehood. We are not here to tell people what is not right, because information, correct information, is key, is necessary, and is what we need.
And keep listening to Citizen 93.7 FM. We'll give you the right informations, will not mislead you. We've said over time that the reason why the military junta took over leadership of Niger Republic was as a result of economic hardship. So that's it.